Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rina Dalika. Today, I'm going to discuss my topics given by Mrs. Perez. So, my topics are culture, customs, traditions, and Filipino context. Culture. Culture reflects the moral and ethical beliefs and standards that speak to how people should behave and interact with others. So they act as prescriptions for correct and moral behavior, lend meaning and coherence to life, and provide a means of achieving a sense of integrity, safety, and belonging. Culture is the characteristics and knowledge of a particular group of people, encompassing language, religion, cuisine, social habits, music, and arts. It can be seen as the growth of a group identity fostered by social patterns unique to the group. Examples: Filipino culture. First, Filipinos are very resilient. Second, Filipinos take pride in their families. Third, Filipinos are very religious. Fourth, Filipinos are very respectful. Fifth, Filipinos help one another. Sixth, Filipinos value traditions and culture. Seventh, Filipinos love to party. And lastly, Filipinos have the longest Christmas celebrations ever. Another cultural practices in the Philippines. Number 1. Bayanihan Filipino culture. It is the most popular Filipino customs and traditions that are still practiced to this day. Number 2. Harana. This was one of the most popular things about Filipino culture. Harana is when a guy serenades the girl he's courting. Number 3. Filipinos call their older siblings ate for older sisters and kuya for older brothers to show respect. Number 4. Hospitable means Filipinos are very known for being welcoming and friendly. Number 5. So much respect for the elderlies. It is one of the most Filipino cultures and values that locals are very proud of. Number 6. Pagmamano, or kissing the elder's head on the forehead. It is one of the most important Filipino culture and values. Number 7. Religious, where many traditions in the Philippines occurred from. Number 8. Palabra de honor. It is one of the most valued customs in the Filipino culture. Number 9. Pamamanhikan. It is one of the family-oriented Filipino values and traditions in the Philippines related to marriage. Number 10. Pakikisama. It is the best traits in the Filipino culture. Customs. Customs and traditions are two more terms often employed in discussing culture. So, a custom is a widely accepted way of doing something specific to a particular society, place, or time, and that has developed through repetition over a long period of time. What are examples of customs? Examples of it are: in some countries, bowing to older people is polite and respectful. In some countries, it is okay to burp while eating food. In some countries, you take your shoes off before entering the house. Lastly, in some places, they sit on the floor and eat. Traditions. In ethics, an ethical tradition is a group of things that one group of people think are right and wrong. People believe that these things are right and wrong because other people think that way and they have thought that way for a long time. This type of ethics is sometimes called the science of morals. So, traditions is the transmission of customs or beliefs from generation to generation, or the fact of being passed on in this way. So, I have here an examples of Filipino customs and traditions. Having fondness for family reunions during secular and religious holidays such as Christmas, New Year's Eve, All Saints' Day, Holy Week, fiestas, homecomings, birthdays, weddings, graduations, baptisms, funerals, etc., is evidence that Filipino people valued not only our cultural tradition but the spirit of our family. There are two types of communication context cultures: the high context cultures and low context cultures. Number 1. High context cultures will use communication that focuses on underlying context, meaning, and tone in the message, and not just the words themselves. So, high context cultures are those in which the rules of communication are primarily transmitted through the use of contextual elements, like body language, a person's status, and tone of voice, and are not explicitly stated. Examples of high context countries include Japan, China, Arab, France, Spain, Brazil, and more. High context cultures is in direct contrast to low context cultures. So number 2, in a low context culture, communication occurs through explicitly spelled out and defined words, and listeners just have to interpret spoken or written words as they are. So low context cultures expect communications to be explicitly stated so that there's no risk of confusion, and if a message isn't clear enough, it will slow down the process of communication. Germany, Sweden, and the United States are generally classified as low context cultures. Questions: is Filipino high context? Filipinos are high context and direct communicators. As a culture, a Filipino will avoid confrontation and speak in terms that maintain harmony at all costs, even if the results in speech that is indirect, evasive, or contradictory. It is common that the Filipino will often use the words yes, even though no is meant. Members of high context cultures usually have close relationships that last for an extended period of time. As a result of these years of interacting with one another, the members know what the rules are, how to think, and how to behave. So the rules do not have to be explicitly stated. Guys, remember, it is important to note that no culture is completely high context or low context, since all societies contain at least some parts that are both high and low. That's all. Thank you. God bless.